Hello, everybody. I don't know if this is working this time. I was on about 15 minutes ago, so you may have seen that. And I couldn't get the chat to work, so I'm still in testing phase with this. This is my second video using this new service. So you could be watching me on our YouTube channel. You could be watching on one of our Facebook groups or one of our Facebook pages because we've got it broadcasting simultaneously to a number of platforms right now. But I'm Mike from aPlantBasedDiet.org, and I wanted to really try this out. I think doing a better job this time, being able to answer questions from anybody, do a little Q&A, and also maybe tell my story as well today since we've got time. See, I got a little bit afternoon, 17 minutes afternoon here on the East Coast. And let's see, where, oh, I want to mention, and then you probably saw this in the title, if you're watching this, hopefully you're seeing the title. So if you're out there and you're watching this video, since this is still a test, if you could, just let me know that you can see this. Give me a like, a thumbs up, a heart, type a comment in. But something you should know about the comments, I found this out last time. Comments on Facebook groups are not going to get to me. I won't be able to see them. Let's see. This is saying, okay, this is saying can't find supported. All right, well, it says chat is waiting for new messages. So I guess I'm just waiting for you guys. If you're out there and you're watching, please type a message so that I know this chat is working. Just because I couldn't get it about 15 minutes ago, I couldn't get the chat to come up at all. Now the chat's up, but I haven't seen any messages yet. So just type something, anything in there. And also know that if you're watching this from a Facebook group, and you might be watching it live, if you are, it's a little bit afternoon on the East Coast. If not, you're watching a replay. Either way, especially if you're watching it live, and actually only if you're watching it live, if you want to type me a question that I'm going to see for sure, depending upon your platform where you are, just go to our YouTube channel, and the way you find that is just type in any browser VeganVideos.info, and that should also be in the title of this video. Also, I don't know if it appears there or not, but it's supposed to be in there. So again, I'm working on this, and actually while I'm doing this, I'm going to navigate over to a few things on my own computer so I can see what you guys might be seeing, just to make sure that this is working. And see, I think this is going to my personal timeline, so I'm looking there right now. Yeah, it's there. Okay. Yeah, and I see the one I did previously too, 18 minutes ago. It was only like a couple seconds long. So disregard that. And I'm sorry, I didn't have the chat up, but we've got the chat up now, so that's good. I can see a delayed version of me in there. I still don't see, let's see, dashboard for the chat. Oh, this is taking me to a help menu. Okay, we will deal with that later. I don't have time to deal with that right now. But again, if you want to type me a question and you're not sure where you're watching me on Facebook, if you are, I may not be able to see your question. So just go to VeganVideos.info and type it there. And I also want to make a few announcements about what's been going on. Today is the 28th of August, and it's a Wednesday. I just, before I came on this broadcast, opened up Cape Coral Veg Fest in Cape Coral, Florida for vendors. So we are now accepting vendors for that event. That event is going to be on Sunday, November 24th. It's like the weekend before Thanksgiving. It'll be then, and our website is capecoralvegfest.org. And if you want to learn a bit more about this event or any of the events that we have, because we've got a number of annual festival events, and this is one of our newer ones, but just go ahead over to our easy to find calendar, which is at VeganEvents.info. VeganEvents.info. And when you go there, it'll basically take you to our nonprofit Facebook page, to the calendar, and you'll see a couple of events there when you first go and navigate over there. But you won't see anything more than a few. But scroll down, you'll see all the events. We've got events all the way through like next summer that are put on that calendar. And if you're into the big outdoor veg festivals, which is what we do Veg Fest outdoors. We try to do them at the best time of the year for weather, depending upon the area that we're in. And we're right now in all kinds of areas up and down the East Coast, moving in between them. You can feel free to show up at any of our events. We don't charge any admission charges. If you want to make a donation, you can go to our Eventbrite event, which should be linked in each of the Facebook events, and you can make a donation there if you want, but it's definitely not required. And look, I've got water. Oh, and what is our first original event? Here, I'll show you. I've got the shirt on. Well, this is actually the second year, Southwest Florida Veg Fest, and you see our slogan for people, animals, and our planet. Well, this logo is still the same today, and this is our flagship event, and it's probably the largest event that I've ever been to. It's a Veg Fest. The best guesses are between 15 and 20,000 people that show up. It's definitely our organization's largest event, and we've got worldwide and national names that we fly in for this event. So, we've got quite a schedule already. I don't think we actually have it up yet, although some of them might be on our website right now, which is swflvegfest.org. Oh, there's Marianne. Hey, Marianne. Yeah, you like the t-shirt? I'll show it again. There we go. So anyway, we're in the process of updating the speakers right now. Marianne, who just commented here. Oh, it got me out of focus. Why did it do that? Now, how am I going to get back into focus? Where's my 2020 shirt? Yeah, I'm not sure. Now, oh man, it focused on me as I'm up close, and it didn't focus coming back. See, I'm still testing on this. If anybody knows how to get this thing back in focus, let me know. This could be a problem. Let me see. Actually, let me just try to reset it. How about that? There we go. Okay, we're back. I tricked the camera. My 2020 shirt. Good question. We don't have the 2020 shirts yet, but we will have them. And actually, whenever you go to our event and when you see a 2020 shirt, you see this one says 2018 down there, you see? You'll know you've got a volunteer. That's what we do at all of our events. Our volunteers will have shirts. So this event also, you want to learn more? If you can't remember the website I sent out, just go to VeganVideos.info. That's our calendar. Scroll down, and that one is in the middle of February. I believe it's Sunday the 16th, Riverside Park in Bonita Springs. So, go ahead there. And again, if you're just joining us and you want to type a question, groups in Facebook are not supported right now on the chat, so go over to our YouTube channel where you'll see this live broadcast as well. It's being simultaneously broadcast over a number of platforms. Our YouTube channel is VeganVideos.info. VeganVideos.info. All right, so you probably saw since I've got time to kill, I'm trying to make sure all this stuff works. That was a bad analogy. I'm not going to use that again. But anyway, I want to make sure all this stuff works. I'm going to tell you my story because I've been telling, I guess, a few people here and there every now and then, like my story as to how I got to this point in my life, which is veganism and really whole food plant-based and really organic or veganic. I mean, there's so many different levels to this. And for me, it was a process. And I say that for most people, it's a process. And I'd say that if anybody out there following this lifestyle expects other people to do anything besides a process, you've got an unrealistic expectation. And so I'm going to go over excuse me, my own history in terms of my own journey in this lifestyle. Now, we'd have to go way, way back, and way back to when I was a kid. And, as I remember everything, and this was definitely true, when I was a kid, I had, believe it or not, mostly a liquid diet. Okay, I was always very, very thin. I've got some muscle, as you can see, but I've always been thin compared to the average American anyway. And part of the reason is probably because of what I ate. I'm sure part of it's genetics, part of it's activity level, but I think the biggest thing is what you eat. Like if you're not satisfied with where you are, this thing has got some condensation. The best thing and the easiest thing to fix is your diet. It'll have the most dramatic effect. So for me, I was eating mostly a liquid diet. I mean, I remember I used to go to McDonald's as a kid. When McDonald's in the heyday. I was born in 1970, so I'm 49 years old right now. But back in the day, like the 70s and definitely the 80s, McDonald's was growing at like leaps and bounds. I guess I, I wish I had a vegan equivalent of that right now to tell you about. Maybe there will be one soon, but they were growing in a very, very large manner in terms of a fast food place. So whenever I would go there, I would order a milkshake and French fries. That was my meal, my whole meal. Every single time that I went was a milkshake and French fries because I was really grossed out by meat when I was younger. I, I wouldn't have considered myself all that much of an animal person, but I just thought about where this meat had originated, what I was actually eating, which was animal muscle and blood and veins, and it just really grossed me out. Just in my own mind, it grossed me out to the point where I just couldn't eat the stuff. So I really never did. I know that my parents, always wanted me to eat meat, and I'd say that I probably didn't eat any meat at all, and that was really the only restriction I had in my diet until I was about my early teen years. I'd say when the peer pressure sets in, early teen years, that was when I noticed that, well, that's when I actually made a change. So like when I went to McDonald's, of course, there was meat in every sandwich or whatever you got. So I didn't get any sandwich. I always got like a large fries and a large milkshake, or maybe a large Coke and large fries. People would always ask me, "Don't you want a sandwich?" And I was like, "No, I didn't want one." But then by the time I came to my teen years, peer pressure sets in, and I guess I always wanted to be able to eat these things because literally everybody else that I knew was eating food like this. Okay, I'm sure you know that. So I was the only one that wasn't eating it, and I would always eat a lot. I just wouldn't eat meat. So I started eating. I can remember one time I went to McDonald's and I actually had my first hamburger. It was actually a Big Mac, and I guess I thought it was going to taste really disgusting because it was a hamburger and red meat. But it's so processed, you don't even notice what it is. And from then on, that started at early teen years, 13, 14 years old, until, and I was probably similar. I was eating meat no problem, um, and it was until I was 30 years old in the year 2000. And I went to a doctor, and he took a blood test, and he determined that my cholesterol level was 201 at the time. So at the time, I didn't understand why the cholesterol would be high, and I didn't eat all that different than anybody else. And 201 wasn't that high, but this doctor thought it was, and he's probably right, because I think that most people are way too comfortable with higher numbers or numbers that are, you know, somehow adjusted by pharmaceuticals, so they're not true numbers. Mine, unadjusted from pharmaceuticals because I didn't take any maintenance medications, was 201. So I looked into it and I did some research online on the internet, and I found that what I thought was like the worst offenders, the worst things that I could be eating that were potentially causing something with the cholesterol number, and I got rid of those things. And to me, those things were red meat, butter, cheese, and ice cream. And anybody who knows me before that date knows I used to eat a ton of cheese, tons of ice cream, red meat. I mean, I was eating burgers, from fast food places. So that's where I was getting the red meat, and really other dishes too, and definitely butter. Butter was in. It seems like it was in just about everything. It probably still is if you're eating animal products, butter or some form of it. So I stopped eating those things, and then in a short period of time, I know I felt better. I didn't even realize I felt bad, and I didn't have to go on any cholesterol medication or anything, and that was it. Until, fast forward, that was the year 2000. I was 30 years old. I didn't make any other changes until the year 2000, probably 2009. So 9 more years down the road. And at that point, actually, I had just gotten separated, and I realized that making all my own food on my own, going to the store, buying every single item of food for myself, I didn't buy any meat at all. Okay, now remember in the year the 9 years before that, I had just gotten rid of red meat. But from here, I realized I wasn't buying any fish. I wasn't buying any chicken. Maybe it was because I was lazy, but I also didn't want to eat that stuff. I had no desire to eat that stuff, so I didn't buy it. So I believe that in 2009, I became vegetarian. So that was another milestone for me. Again, look at the time frame here. Okay, look at how long these changes take place. And of course, in 2009, I don't think I knew anybody that was vegetarian. Well, in the year 2000, I didn't know anybody that has a strict diet as me. I mean, most people who knew me in the year 2000 when I turned 30 and stopped eating meat, butter, cheese, ice cream, they thought there was something wrong with me. They really did. Okay, and I was just trying to preserve my own health, but that's not normal in the society, unfortunately, right now. So then, when I became vegetarian, I realized I didn't know any vegetarians. That was 2009, and then give it another 5 years from there, 2014. I had been doing more research online, watching YouTube videos and things like that. Maybe you guys are watching this on YouTube. And again, if you're just joining us now, if you want to join us in the conversation here, you can go to VeganVideos.info, which is our YouTube channel, and watch this broadcast live. Type in your questions at VeganVideos.info in the live stream, and I'll get them. At least I should be getting them. I don't know if it's working or not, but hopefully it is. This is more of a test, but I'm also going over my own history. So I've been doing some more research on my own, always learning new things, which, for some people is a problem. For other people, that's their way of life. And I think that everybody should always be learning one way or another. So I learned that animal products in general, every single animal product was bad. So I went, at that point, 2014, I went from vegetarian to vegan. And, not only did I not know any vegetarians in 2009, I definitely didn't know any vegans in 2014. And that was only 5 years ago. So in 2014, I started up a bunch of social media platforms, groups, vegan groups in different areas that I spent time in. And I was able to meet people that way who were into the vegan lifestyle. And if I remember correctly, actually, when I first got into veganism, I really got into, for me, it was health. Health was what I was looking into as the primary focus, I'd say. And, if you look at our shirt here, for people, animals, and our planet, veganism has 3 parts to it. And so I was mainly concerned with health, but I was also concerned with the animals and the environment too. They're all connected. You can't really help one without helping the others in the process automatically. Even if you're not trying, when you do one, you're doing all of them, or at least a part of all of them. So I started all these groups, started meeting people, and I think I turned raw vegan, actually. Initially, I was trying to. Now, that is very, very difficult, okay? Because I was in it for health reasons. I just felt like, the whole pure food is the best way to do it, and that was extremely difficult. I mean, I never really thought I was raw vegan, but I aspired to be. I'd say that's what it was at first. That didn't last that long. It lasted maybe a year. Yeah. Actually, I even had a license plate that said raw vegan in the beginning, but I eventually got rid of that. And so I started to meet more people, do more things. Started a nonprofit also, because I really recognized that this was beneficial. I believe that it was a lack of knowledge as to why people didn't follow the vegan lifestyle. So we started our nonprofit there in 2014 when I became vegan, aPlantBasedDiet.org. You probably see it in the title of this video. If the titles are going through, it's there. So we started the nonprofit 5 years ago, and the original purpose of the nonprofit was really just to educate people. And we only had, we were doing a few meetups here and there, in small meetups. But one of the largest purposes of the nonprofit initially, anyway, was Southwest Florida Veg Fest. And we started planning that in the end of 2015. And even though I started the framework for the nonprofit in 2014 when I became vegan, got the name, got everything else, I didn't actually get it approved until 2015. And then 2015 is when we began planning for the first Southwest Florida Veg Fest, which took over a year, like almost a year and a half to plan. We had our first meeting on World Vegan Day 2015 in Southwest Florida. And the reason we picked Southwest Florida, or I did, at least initially, to start something is because that was the area where I had gained the largest followings in the vegan group that I had. I had a couple vegan groups, a couple local vegan groups, and you may be watching this video on one of those local vegan groups because I think right now it's being broadcast out to Southwest Florida, the vegan group there, the Triangle, Raleigh area, the vegan group there, and also the one in Washington, D.C. area. So you may be watching it there, any of those. And so that's when we started in Florida. And I started a nonprofit anyway, whether we were doing the Southwest Florida Veg Fest or not, but I didn't really have all that many expectations for it other than we'll do the best we can, put on the best event we can, and see who shows up. And the first one was really, really successful. We had a great team of all volunteers working the organization that really I had met through all the contacts I had gained through social media. Because I didn't, like I said, initially I didn't know anyone in person, and all the contacts I got were connections through people I met in social media. So it just shows you the power of social media if you try to use it for something beneficial. I think that most people don't still. They just use it to kind of waste time, it seems like. And I know that a lot of people probably thought that I was wasting a lot of time back then too, and maybe even still do. But I still see that we're having a benefit to people. We're fulfilling the mission of the nonprofit. We're getting the word out. So anyway, that first event was great. We had way more people than we thought were going to show up. I think it was like 6,000 to 8,000, something like that the first year. We had expected 1,000. And then the 2 years after that, it's been more like 10,000 to 15,000. So that's how we got to where we are. And if I think about it, even just a little over a year ago, we only had one annual festival, large outdoor annual festival, and it was Southwest Florida Veg Fest. But in the last year, we've expanded to 4. We not only had Southwest Florida Veg Fest, but we expanded to Ocala, Florida, which is actually where our headquarters for the nonprofit is. And then we also expanded to the Northern Virginia area outside of D.C., Fairfax County, Virginia. And then most recently, Mountain Veg Fest, which was held in New Hampshire. It serves like the mountain areas of New Hampshire and Vermont. So, and I don't know if you guys have looked at our calendar recently, but you can just go and look at it whenever you want. It's at VeganVideos.info. You'll see all the events we have planned. We have not launched all of them yet, but most likely, well, for sure, we're going to have more than 10 annual festivals between now and next year. So that is a huge amount of events. It's now we're very fortunate, I think, to be able to hopefully not lose money on these events that we're going to put together and reach more and more people. And again, our events are really educational events. We support local businesses that offer vegan options too, because all of our Veg Fest are 100% vegan events. Even if you're not a 100% vegan business, that's fine, as long as you only bring your 100% vegan stuff to our event and talk about your vegan stuff only, because that's the purpose of the event, is really to educate people. And all of our events are outdoors, and they're all free for people to show up as general admission, for people to show up as a guest, free. We do have expenses we have to pay in relation with putting these events together, rent, equipment, all kinds of stuff like that. And we do charge our vendors as low a fee as we possibly can. And we're just starting to open up vendor spots for different events. Right now, I mentioned earlier in the video, Cape Coral Veg Fest is just open today for vendors. And that's one of the regional events that we have in Southwest Florida. It's kind of complimentary to the Southwest Florida Veg Fest. Again, I'll show you. There you go. It's complimentary to that. Instead of getting all the national and worldwide speakers, we're going to have local talent, rising stars, locally, who are going to be at these events. So it'll be a really great opportunity for you guys to see local people and for them to, kind of get their name out there too. The other event that we've already released vendors for is Wake Forest Veg Fest, and that's going to be in the Raleigh Triangle area of North Carolina. Wake Forest is a suburb of Raleigh. It actually borders on Raleigh. I mean, you really can't even tell the difference between Raleigh and Wake Forest, truly, because they just go from one one suburban urban area to the next. Anyway, that's going to be coming up pretty soon. That's our next event, and that is going to be the first weekend in November, November 3rd, Sunday, November 3rd in Wake Forest, North Carolina. That's going to be in Joyner Park, and it's a free outdoor event also. So check VeganVideos.info. Check that. You'll find information about Wake Forest Veg Fest. You'll find information about Cape Coral Veg Fest, and we're about to release vendor applications for our flagship event, Southwest Florida Veg Fest. And by the way, if you guys, these are, as far as we're concerned, these are also destination events. We want to get everybody possible involved. If you guys are already in the vegan lifestyle and you want to come down, take a look at our events, like especially the ones in Florida, even North Carolina in the first weekend in November, it's going to be really good weather there at that point, at that time of the year. And there'll be even better weather in Florida in late November, okay? So check out our calendar, maybe show up, make a trip out of it, but invite your friends. That's the biggest thing. Invite your not yet vegan friends. That's Vegan Evan says that. Vegan Evan is our youth ambassador for aPlantBasedDiet.org. If you want to see who's associated with our nonprofit, just go to that website, aPlantBasedDiet.org. Just type it in on your browser, and you'll see what our team is made up of. And see, that's about it, I think. As soon as I get off of this video chat, I'm going to go to the different channels. I'm going to check out, make sure that this broadcast went right. See if you guys have commented. Again, if you're out there, hit the like button, hit the love thing in the corner. If you're on Facebook, type a comment, something, so I know you guys are out there. And we will be having videos like this on a regular basis, letting you know what's going on, reminding you, check our calendar. And we also want to let you know, we've got a couple different initiatives that we've started up with the nonprofit, but the one we've had the longest, which is about a year now, it's coming on almost its 1 year anniversary, is our food certification program. Okay, it's called Certified aPlantBasedDiet.org, and if you want to learn more about it, just type in healthyveganfood.info, and that pretty much explains the whole thing. Because the vegan lifestyle in general, for people, animals on our planet, usually helps out humans with their health, usually helps out the environment, and we'll be doing some videos on that too, explaining how that works. And almost always helps out the animals, because if you're not using animal products, they're not farming animals, they're not having to kill animals. So that is all taken out of the equation once you no longer use or eat animal products. But for the diet, that's a lot more complicated. And just as we don't want any harm to happen to animals, we don't want any harm to happen to humans. So in order to do that, we have to involve doctors, physicians. For instance, Dr. Brian Tashner is a cardiologist. He's actually located in Southwest Florida, but he heads up our certification program. So, you'll be hearing more from him in the near future at our events and through other social media and things like that. But he helps us to develop that program, and any restaurant or food vendor that wants to participate in this certification program, it is free of cost for any restaurant or food vendor to participate. All they have to do is agree to have an item on their menu, either at one of our events and or on a regular basis. That's a regular item that people don't have to do, asking all kinds of special questions about, because food is so complicated. It just has to be, in our mind, where our standard is right now is 100% vegan, and also no added oil. So if you're agreeing to do something like that, then we will give you our certification. We'll help to promote you. We will drive customers your way through our own contacts and social media, because we want to promote this as healthy options, and we really want to drive people towards eating healthy. So I'd say that most restaurants or food vendors, they'll only get one or two of their entrees, and we're moving towards doing only entrees right now. One or two of their main items. If you don't sell any entrees, we'll make an exception, but one or two of their entrees will be certified. However, if you want some exceptions to those rules, there are some really, really progressive restaurants out there. And if you're watching me from the Florida area, in Southwest Florida, there is a restaurant, which you may know, in Naples. Okay, it's called 21 Spices. It's an Indian restaurant. And I'd say that they are, no question about it, the healthiest restaurant in Southwest Florida. They are the most progressive restaurant. Now, why? Because they have a special dedicated vegan menu, so make sure you ask for it if you go into 21 Spices by Chef Asif. They add the Chef Asif at the end. He's a famous chef. And if you go in there, ask for their vegan menu. And when you get their vegan menu, you'll notice that our seal is on that entire menu, the certification seal. So they've actually obtained certification for every single item on their vegan menu, and they're the only one, the restaurant that I can even think of in Southwest Florida that has multiple items, and the only restaurant for sure that has, their entire vegan menu, extensive vegan menu, completely certified, meaning it has no added oil in it, which is much, much healthier for you. And we can go into why oil is healthy or not healthy, and we can talk about that in a future video. And I can even tell you my own personal experiences with that. Not even just oil, but just fat in general. Because one of the reasons that oil is so bad is because it is almost 100% fat. And fat in general, it causes negative health consequences. So for Southwest Florida, 21 Spices by Chef Asif, that's the place to go. Ask for their vegan menu and tell them thank you for offering that too. Because we want to make sure that we get enough customers going in. We're not getting any money off of this, but we love that there are options that people can go to on the regular menu. It doesn't have to be a special event. Just show up whenever you want and you get some healthy vegan food. So that's great. The other restaurant that we have that we can talk about is Green Fair Organic Cafe, and that is in the DC area in Northern Virginia. And Green Fair Organic Cafe has the thing to note about them. Oh, there's a Cheryl. Okay. Cheryl, I cannot pronounce your name, with an M. 21 Spices have great food. We need more in the Fort Myers area. Okay, yes, Cheryl. Thank you for saying that. I guess you're in Fort Myers, if you're typing in the comment. And let me also mention, you may or may not know this, but make sure you check VeganVideos.info regularly, because we do have a special event about once a month at Spice Club. Cheryl, have you been to Spice Club? It's an Indian restaurant there off 41. It's right on 41 on the south side of Fort Myers. And every month we do an all-you-can-eat, all-vegan Indian buffet, all with no added oil, so the whole thing is certified. So you can't get that on the regular menu, at least not yet. But if you go to our event that we have once a month, I think we just had one this past Sunday. Yeah, this past Sunday we had one. Okay, so you're not familiar. Okay, well, definitely. We just had the last all-you-can-eat, all-certified, all-vegan Indian buffet just Sunday, a couple days ago. So please check VeganEvents.info and make sure you follow our page, aPlantBasedDiet.org. You can follow it. You can like it. If you like it, you'll get notifications of when events happen. And also, Cheryl, are you in our vegan group, our local vegan group in Southwest Florida? And do you know about it? I don't know where you're watching me from. You may be watching me from the Southwest Florida Veg Fest page. I don't know. But make sure you're in our vegan.swfl.org Facebook group. There's over 4,000 local vegans in that group, and we are always promoting our events in that. And when you join, you also can have the option of giving us your email address if you want to get emails. You can do that. And by the way, if anybody wants to get an email address or get on our local email list, depending upon where you live, feel free to send us an email at aPlantBasedDiet.org@gmail.com. That's aPlantBasedDiet.org@gmail.com. Just send us an email. Tell us what area you live in, and we'll get you on the list. Yeah, so definitely, we'd love to see you there and bring friends out. It's really, really good. We've been doing that. For about a year and a half now. Every single month, a year and a half with Spice Club. Dilip is the manager there. He's a great guy. So they do an amazing job, and they really, really like it when all the people who are interested in vegan food show up, one Sunday a month. So keep an eye out for that. And okay, I was talking about Green Fair Organic Cafe. If anybody's out there in the DC area, Northern Virginia, please type a comment. Let me know you're there. And again, if you're not able to type a comment, or if I can't see your comment, it's because You might be in a Facebook group and we don't support comments right now, so go to VeganVideos.info and watch me there. The live stream's happening right there also. VeganVideos.info. Type a comment, type me if you're from the DC area, and if you know about Green Fair Organic Cafe. Because if you don't know about them, I will tell you very quickly. As far as I'm concerned, they are the healthiest restaurant in the world. And why do I say that? Well, first of all, let me let you know that they are a fully organic restaurant. Every aspect of what they do is organic. Hey, Cheryl Gebhardt there, and see, there's Cheryl M and Cheryl Gebhardt, and one spelled with a C, one spelled with an S. Yeah, looking forward to, Cheryl Gebhardt is also on our team for the certification program for healthy vegan food. So everybody thank Cheryl for helping us out with that. We're all volunteers. Like I said, we give this certification out for free to everybody. And Cheryl, since you're both in Southwest Florida, just make sure you go to 21 Spices whenever you want and sample their vegan menu, extensive vegan menu. Everything's certified healthy vegan food. And also go to VeganVideos.info and watch for our next buffet event at Spice Club in Fort Myers. And we've been having some buffets also in Port Charlotte as well, so keep an eye out for that as well. But Green Fair Organic Cafe, why are they the healthiest restaurant in the world in Northern Virginia? It's because they are 100% organic, like I mentioned, and they have been certified by an independent organization so that not only their food is organic, which is all USDA certified organic, but their entire restaurant and all their processes are also organic, which is great. I think there's only 6 restaurants in the United States that meet that certification that they have. Yeah, we love 21 Spices too. Cheers to 21 Spices. So also for Green Fair Organic Cafe, their entire menu has been certified by us. They meet our healthy vegan food certification, the entire menu. The only restaurant that's ever been able to do that, because they're a 100% vegan restaurant. They only offer vegan food. They only offer whole food plant-based food too. And of course, whole food plant-based means no added sugar, oil, or salt. And they also, pretty much everything they have, with maybe the exceptions of some of the desserts or special events, are extremely low in fat as well. So that all helps to keep your blood work good. And I can tell you, I've been through it recently with them, so I know low fat, whole food plant-based organic eating is the best you can do, the absolute best you can do. And every single meal there is that. It all fits that description. It's all certified healthy vegan food. So basically, the more food you eat at Green Fair Organic Cafe in Herndon, Virginia, the healthier you get. I mean, I'm saying this as someone that, I went through their 21-day Kickstart program where I ate nothing but their food for 3 weeks. I thought I was wasting my time, and I'll do a separate video on that. But believe me, I wasn't. I had significant improvement in my blood work by eating only their food. And I am probably the strictest eater that I know. So that's reason enough to go to 21 Spices. 21 Spices if you're in Southwest Florida. But Green Fair Organic Cafe, if you're in the DC area, go there. The food is delicious. They know what they're doing. They've got it all down to a science there. Everything is about science there, actually. You go there, every book. Yeah, bring Green Fair out. We'll talk about it. Gwen Whitaker, if you're out there. Pericles Silva, if you're out there, as the owner and manager of Green Fair. We need you to expand to Florida, Southwest Florida specifically. Yeah, because if Green Fair showed up, they would bump 21 Spices off the top for sure. But, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen in the future? Oh, and my battery's dying over here on my computer, and I've been on here for a while. I only plan on being here till 1 o'clock, and we're almost there. So if you're in the DC area, definitely go to Green Fair. They're actually having a special event tonight that's sold out at Green Fair Organic Cafe. I'm going to be there, but it is sold out, unfortunately. If you like the Green Fair Organic Cafe Facebook page, or you like our aPlantBasedDiet.org Facebook page, you will get notifications when the next event comes out. And if you're in the DC area and you're watching this, make sure that you are in our local group, VeganDC.org. It's VeganDC.org. Just if you're in there, you can find out about it too. So welcome Cheryl from Fort Myers. So yeah, there's an Italian night tonight. They have once a month at Green Fair Organic Cafe, and all you can eat Italian night. Okay, and they've got different dishes each time, but I know they typically have lasagna, some type of a noodle dish, usually an Alfredo, spaghetti and meatballs I've had. Of course, they're not real meat. pizza, all kinds of pizza, including a dessert pizza, salad, and it's all you can eat. And there's more varieties than just that. That's just what they usually have. So you need to get your ticket bought for that in advance if you want to go. It's a ticketed event. Like most of the paid events at Green Fair are ticketed events, so keep that in mind. That's why you want to get like the Facebook pages. You want to join our groups in Facebook, because if you don't, you might miss out like tonight and not be able to go. But okay, let me leave you guys with one last thing, a couple last things. Make sure you go to our VeganVideos.info, check out the calendar. If you want to go to some destination Veg Fest outdoors in really, really, really good weather, with great speakers, great vibe, great event. The next two are Wake Forest Veg Fest Sunday, November 3rd, and Cape Coral Veg Fest. That's in Florida. Wake Forest is in North Carolina. Cape Coral's in Florida. Is in Sunday, November 24th. They're both on the calendar. You'll find out more information. Just click through. You can RSVP. You can go to the website. We don't have all the complete information yet, but I can tell you that at Wake Forest Veg Fest, Nelson Campbell, anybody know who Nelson Campbell is? From Plant Pure? It's the son of Dr. T. Colin Campbell, who is one of the founding fathers, I'd say, of this movement, along with Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn and probably Dr. Dean Ornish. Anyway, Nelson Campbell, who runs Plant Pure and is helping out with a bunch of great initiatives I know that have happened recently in New York City with public health, is going to be at Wake Forest Veg Fest talking and giving an update about what they're doing. So make sure you show up at that one if you can, or just make a trip out of it. It will definitely be worth your time. The venue actually is amazing. If you guys have ever been to Joyner Park in Wake Forest, they have this huge outdoor amphitheater where our speakers are going to be. They have this new cover that they put on with some really cool LED lights spinning above. It's all outdoors. And they have really good bathrooms too. We don't have to bring in porta potties for this event because they have a really good bathroom facility right there. So anyway, that's it. And hope to see you guys soon. Even if you're not watching this live, feel free to comment. I'll try to answer comments when I can. The best way to get in touch with me is to go over to our YouTube channel and comment there. And that's VeganVideos.info. So go ahead over there if you can. And I will see you in the next live broadcast or replay video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.